What's going on, everybody? I know I said I wasn't going to give you a video this week, but I felt bad and wanted to do it anyways. Nothing big, just addressing some issues on the Datsun. So we're going to get under there and look for our clunk that we have in the rear end. And then we are also going to be dropping the oil pan. That way we can put a new gasket on because it leaks just a little bit. So we're going to kind of take a look at the general health of everything, take a look at the bearings, make sure nothing's getting worn improperly, or that anything's spun, which I don't think it is. It sounds great. It doesn't sound like it's knocking or anything, but I just figured while we're under there and the pan is off, we could take a look and just know for sure. The car is a little bit low because I had to jack it up to even be able to get it on the lift. So she's pretty low to the ground. And now, up we go. Something I like to do before the car is completely up in the air is get it up off the ground a little bit, kind of push on it, make sure it's not going to go anywhere so it doesn't fall on your head, because that would be a bad day for you and for everybody else. It just would suck. So stay safe and push your car around on the lift. So now we've got it up on the lift, we can take a look at everything, at the rust that still needs to be addressed and fixed, and down here on the frame rail, and right here on that frame rail as well. Also along with kind of where the frame rail meets the firewall and the engine bay, that needs to be fixed also. But we are going to go ahead and drain the oil, and we'll pull the pan down. I think somebody said we needed to remove the top two transmission bolts, but I don't think, or sorry, the bottom two transmission bolts. I don't think that we'll need to do that though. And then we'll pull this down. There is a brace in between the oil pan and the engine that we'll need to keep track of, because the longer bolts are going to go to that. And then at the front, there is a balancing counterweight for the crankshaft that we'll need to rotate up into the motor to create clearance to pull the oil pan down. Another thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be wire wheeling the gas tank. I know it's been drained before and cleaned. I've got the paperwork for that, but it's ugly and needs to be taken care of. So I went ahead and wire wheeled that. I'm gonna have to go over these spots a little bit more and get rid of the surface rust that's there. But I've gotten all of the actual rusted and flaking off pieces taken care of. And then I'll prime it and I'll paint it black, but that'll be for a different video. That's just something I needed to do because I hated looking at. I've got the oil draining now. And then we will pull the pan off. Pretty much, and that's about it. And then we can look at the bearings and all that fun stuff. Let's not spill that on the nice garage floor. Okay, we'll let that sit. We'll let that sit for about 2-3 minutes. Get most of it out of there. I'll throw the drain plug back in so it doesn't drip on me while I'm taking everything off, and then we'll go from there. Hopefully all the bearings and stuff look good. I'm a little worried about the, what's it called? The rear main seal. I think it might be leaking a little bit because there is a little bit coming between the trans and the engine. At least I think, but there's so much. I shouldn't say so much. There's enough leaking that I don't notice it from the dipstick, but I can visibly see that, you know, oil has been leaking somewhere in that area. So I'm hoping it's the oil pan. If not, we'll have to do a rear main seal and a lightweight flywheel, possibly, maybe, hopefully. One thing you're gonna have to do is this U-bolt sits right here. You're gonna have to unbolt it and slide it over to the shallower part of the dang, I cannot talk. The oil pan, that way, when it all comes down, you've got that much more clearance. I don't know how well you can see the angle on that. Just that much more clearance to get it out. What are you doing?
Look at Instagram.
Yeah?
What are you doing?
Oh, you know, just recording.
Why?
Oh, for fun.
Because you want to say that this is what I do all the time?
You're like always sitting down when they see you.
Not always.
Anywho, I decided to go ahead and paint the tank tonight. Since it was already up in the air, I masked everything off and just threw a quick coat of wrinkle black on it. The oil pan is sitting over here draining. I'm waiting for the gasket, which will be here tomorrow. I went through, I checked all my rod bearings. Everything's nice and tight and not moving around any more than it should be. Side to side motion on those rod bearings, on those end caps is good. Well, it's not good, but it's not bad. Up and down is what you're looking for. That's no bueno. We've now got that gas tank completely painted and ready to go. And it looks way better than the ugly gray tank from Overspray.
Loosh. What you doing?
Lining up the oil pan gasket. I tightened everything before I got all the bolts in. Now I'm regretting it.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Oh, just not speaking because that's what I told you to do and you didn't listen.
You didn't tell me to do this.
Yeah, because you weren't listening. I was like, need help? And you were like, no, I got it. I can do this. I have a sequence. Then you tightened it all.
No, certain bolts have to go certain places. The long bolts go in the back with the brackets, and the front bolts come over here because they're shorter.
But, yeah. All of those individual bolts in there, and...
So I did not paint it like I said I was going to.
Yeah, he lied to you. Work on the way. And, summer comes around, we might drop it again, and...
When summer comes around?
Winter, sorry. When we're not driving this car consistently, we'll probably take some stuff out and fix some of this rust that's going on up in here.
Get it ready for 2023 autocross?
Sure.
So I would like to take this to autocross before the end of the year, just so I can get a baseline of what all I want to do to it after that. Because right now, the factory L series motor is great and reliable, but as far as making power, it's just not there. Unless I throw a turbo on it, but somebody doesn't want me to throw a turbo on it.
We can't afford to throw a turbo on it right now.
You can afford to.
No. Mm-hmm. Get it all squared away?
Should be. It's not like there's a whole lot to know about them.
No?
Oh, hey. How's it going?
Not a whole lot to an oil pan?
Nope.
It's all set in stone, ready to go. All those bolts put together. Yeah. Now you're just cleaning it?
Old gasket.
Ew.
It's pretty awful. It's disgusting.
Yeah, look how dirty your hands are.
Filthy. Just like me.
You filthy animal.
What's up, guys? It's been a long day. It's been a long day at my day job, and it's been a long night here in the garage. Oil pan is done. Oil is in the car. I am tired as shit. So I will catch you guys in the next video. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and come back next week for another video. Later.